What's up, people? All right, this is gonna be a real quick live. I won't respond to anyone because I really don't have time. I have to go to the gym. Have a long gym day today, but I just want to make a quick audio about my very first ever real racist experience. But before I get to the racist experience, I want to say first and foremost that I am not one of those FBA's foundational Black Americans. None of that crap. I'm not a Black Lives Matter supporter. None of that bullshit. I'm a person who doesn't really take part in groups in general, and I don't have like this new pro-black philosophy. None of that shit. And I'm saying that because I'm not telling this story because I'm trying to say, oh, white people are racist or something. This is just a situation that happened to me. I'm not even trying to say that racism is the reason or a big part of the reason black neighborhoods are the way they are. I think our neighborhoods are usually the way they are and fucked up because we don't have good culture, good family values, and we don't take a more strict approach to crime, especially from within our families. Because if we did, we wouldn't have so much fucking crime. So, let me get to the story. Now, this is way back. Right now, I'm 39, so this was 21 years ago, and it does feel like a lifetime ago. Yeah, because I'm 39 now, I was 18. Yeah, this is 21 years ago. At this time, I was still in high school. I was dating a girl named Bree. And I hope she doesn't see this video. That would be embarrassing. But anyway, I was dating a girl named Bree. And Bree was a tall Irish high school girl. Like, she blonde hair, blue eyes, my height or taller. I really don't remember, but definitely not shorter. And if she was shorter than me, it's not noticeable. Even though I was older than her by like 2.5 years, I'm short and young looking, so like no one ever noticed that. So it has her age has nothing to do with all the shit we're about to talk about. But yeah, we were dating. You know, she was my first real girlfriend, I guess. You know, we were kissing and stuff. You know, the basic high school thing, whatever the fuck. Well, maybe by then you guys are doing more things. That's just what I was doing, just kissing, spending time, whatever. And I don't know how long we were together, but for the most part, I wasn't taking her home. Like, she would never let me take the D train because she lived in Bensonhurst. She would never let me take the D train with her and drop her off home and then get back on the train and go to where I am. So at the time, I was living near the F line, Fort Hamilton. She was on the D line. I think it was the Bensonhurst stop. And even taking her home is going to take time for me to get back home after that because I'd have to take the D all the way back to Coney Island, which is like 4 or 5 stops at the time. Then get on the F from Coney Island all the way to Fort Hamilton, which would take about 30 minutes. So it'd be like a 45-minute trip just to go back home after that, right? So one day she decides to just do it. I don't remember her telling me why she never let me walk her home, but this time she just let me do it. So I'm like, all right, cool. And so remember, this is 21 years ago, so things are different. So this is 2025 now. This is like 2004, some shit, 2003, 2004. So I'm walking her home, and I just realized, like, as I'm walking next to her, like, she knows people. Like, as she's walking through the street, she's like, hi, because people recognize her. You know, they got a tight community, whatever. And I just realized, like, it just felt weird. I mean, it didn't feel weird to me at the time because I was the only black person. Because by this time in my life, the past 3 years, I was used to being the only black person because of summer camp. I was the only black person. My junior high school, there was maybe 5 of us at the most one year. And, like, the least of us one year was maybe 2 because I was there for 3 years. So it was like 2 of us or up to 5 of us. So I was kind of used to it by then. But I never experienced any racism during those. Damn, that's a while. I was in junior high school for 3 years, and during those 6 years of being surrounded by white people from like age 12, I didn't go through any racism or anything I noticed as racism. I didn't experience it. I didn't know all the shit people were talking about. So I'm walking her home, and I realized that everyone's kind of staring at us. Like, I mean, grown-ass men. I'm a teenager. She's a teenager. We're both still in high school, and, like, these grown-ass men are just grilling me like I did something. And now, to be fair, it wasn't just I was black. I was also goth. I got to point that out. I can't not mention that because I'm sure it makes things worse. So, I mean, when I was with her, I wasn't too goth, but like I did wear all black, and I probably, because I wasn't strong goth. I was strong goth after her. Because when I was with her, I also liked to dress fresh to death and wear like some street clothes and shit. And not like street clothes. I mean like collar shirt, faded pants, white Air Force Ones, maybe even a do-rag, but I was just all over the place at that age. I can't say I was goth. I was all over the place, so the clothes doesn't matter. After her is when I really became goth. So anyway, um, we were walking down the street. I take her home, and I was in her house for like 10 minutes. She was so nervous. I'm like, what are you nervous for? Your parents coming home or something? She goes, no, that's okay. They know about you. I'm just worried about you going back home. And I'm like, what? What do you think is going to happen? She goes, I don't know. My neighborhood is just different. You know, they don't like black people, I guess. I'm like, yeah, I guess I kind of noticed that when I came here. But I'm like, but I'm young. You know, I'm not some violent person. I'm sure if I'm a nice guy, they'll just leave me alone. She goes, well, I hope so. I was like, okay, well, I'll just go home now before it gets dark. And she's like, okay, fine. I'm like, okay, see you later. Give her a hug, kiss, whatever. Leave the house. Now, I'm leaving the house, and I didn't know better at the time. And I know this now, and I learned the lesson from this. If you're in any sort of environment that is hostile towards you, you never go past the same points twice if you don't have to. I didn't know that at this time. That's one of the things that kept me alive in Russia. I didn't know that at this time. So I literally started walking back home the exact way I came. I mean, walking back to the train station the exact way I came, which is a terrible idea, and I'll tell you why after. So I'm walking home. I'll never forget, I had to leave her place, make a left as soon as I got out the house, then make another left and walk about 3 blocks to the next train station, which is Bensonhurst, I guess. D train. So when I leave and make the left, it's okay because her street is kind of quiet, whatever, not really anyone there. But once I made that second left where all the guys were staring at me, oh my, it was like a fucking movie. So I'm walking the first block. There was one guy to say something. Like one guy, he said something. I think it wasn't even in English. It was probably in Italian. He just said something, and I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm like walking like kind of away from the buildings, like near the street, and just walking down. And I'm not necessarily scared. I'm more confused and just inexperienced in a place like this. Like it really felt like a movie. So the next block, some more guys say some shit. Same guys, they're all like hanging outside. Same guys say some shit. And I'm just thinking, all right, I might have to fight. But if I'm thinking I'm going to have to fight, I'm thinking I'm going to have to fight people my age. Like, I'm not expecting to fight 40-year-olds. Like, that's the last thing I expect. So when she said people won't like it, I expected some teenagers to try to jump me or something. I never thought of grown men my father's fucking age. So that's what's going on in my head. Like, I'm seeing a grown man angry, but I'm thinking, because I'm just thinking in my head, there's no way a grown man's going to try to fight me. I can understand a grown man trying to rob me or something, like in the hood where I'm from, but I can't imagine a grown man in the hood trying to fight me, because that's not what they do in the hood. They're not going to try to fight you. They're just going to try to take your stuff, if anything, and beat you up to take your stuff. But I mean, to fight you, just to fight you, was something that I didn't know grown men would try to do to a teenager. I didn't know. Bensonhurst was an Italian neighborhood in Brooklyn. So the third and last block, I'm like, all right, great. The train station's right there. As long as I make it up there, there'll be a dude from the MTA sitting near the window. I should be fine. Like maybe what, 50 steps away from the stairs. I'm 50 steps away from being on the stairs. These guys just come out the fucking pizza shop. Like 4 40-year-old motherfuckers, like grown-ass men. Grown-ass men. I mean grown-ass men. I'm a teenager. I'm 17, maybe 18, and I'm a short, young-looking dude. Everyone always thought I was younger than I was. Grown-ass men come out the pizza shop, and now they're speaking English. They're just going off. Mulignan, what are you doing here? The monkeys shouldn't be in our neighborhood. Like, all this shit. And I'm just kind of standing there like, not really scared. It wasn't really fear. I know when I have fear, and I admit when I have fear. But it wasn't really fear. It was more like, are you serious? Like, yeah, it hurt my feelings, of course. But it didn't hurt my feelings so much that I was being racist. It hurt my feelings so much that these were grown-ass men. I've never been taunted or made fun of or threatened by random grown-ass men. I always learned to respect my elders, and that elders will respect me. And to that point in my life, it was always the case. Like, I never remember getting in some shit with a grown-ass man. But there's these 4 grown-ass men. Of course they're white men, but that's not what I was focusing on. Grown-ass men in my face taunting me. Talking about they should beat my ass with the baseball bat they had. And I'm just like, what? I don't remember what I said. I don't think I said anything. I was just like, I just want to go home probably. And they went on for like 3 or 4 minutes, and people come outside. They're watching. No one said anything. I thought, okay, people coming outside. Someone's going to come and be like, hey, leave the kid alone. No one said shit. Nobody cared. There were some people giggling and laughing, and I'm the only black kid in the neighborhood, and I'm standing there. And like, there's so many things that were going through my head at that moment. Because I remember, I'm like, this is Brooklyn. Like, first of all, I've never been to a racist white area in Brooklyn before. I thought they didn't exist because Brooklyn, every area I was used to, it was mostly hood areas and mostly heavily black. So those are things I didn't have to worry about. But this is my first time in Bensonhurst. I didn't even know it existed. So they taught me whatever. I end up getting on the train. I go home. And the whole train ride, my heart's beating. And I'm just like, did that just happen? Like, there's no way that just happened. You know, I got home. I didn't tell my father because I didn't want my father to go down there and try to fight nobody. So I didn't tell him nothing. But I did call my mother, spoke about it with my mother. She's like, oh, you don't know about this stuff yet. But, you know, your father, when he left our neighborhood or whatever, he got money. I knew you were going to start living around white people, and I knew this would end up happening one day. And I was like, but this wasn't in our neighborhood. I lived in a mixed area. It was black, white, it was everything. It was very mixed. But this area was just white. Bensonhurst back then was just white, Irish, and Italian. And they didn't even get along. But long story short, if you want to see a good example of what happened to me, watch Everybody Hates Chris. There's an episode of Everybody Hates Chris. And this is one of the reasons why I love that show so much. I can relate. There's an episode where Chris goes to his best friend's house. It's a white kid. I forgot his name. Greg. He goes to Greg's house. And afterwards, they were playing video games. He played video games so long that he stayed there till nighttime. And then he ended up going home at night. He got chased and almost got his ass beat. And the only reason he didn't get his ass beat was because the father, the white kid's father, was there. And he was like, hey, let him go. I know him. He's a friend of my son. And they let him go. Similar to me, I found out later. Gotta tell my wife I'm ready. Okay, 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay, and I think the only reason I didn't get my ass beat was her parents. Like she said, her parents already knew we were dating. And, you know, I guess when you live in a racist neighborhood, that's the first episode. That is not the... Is that the first episode? Look, I'm not going to say it's not. I don't remember. But I really don't think that's the first episode. But if it is, go check it out. So, yeah, I think the only reason to get my ass beat was because, you know, in a neighborhood like that, when your daughter... And she was very pretty. She was really pretty and popular. I remember they would always give her free food when we went to any pizza shop or place. Like, they always give her free stuff. And them old-ass men were hitting on her. She was 15 or 16 at the time, but... She was very pretty, thin, tall, and always got free stuff. So I guess her parents kind of told people in the neighborhood, like, what should we do? So people knew of me. So odds are the guys who were yelling at me, who saw me with her, they knew I was dating her. And so they didn't want to fight with me or something like that or actually attack me because her dad was a popular person in the neighborhood and he drove the trains and stuff. And he was aware of me. He was a big-ass Irish dude. Now I know why she was so tall. He was like 6'6", green eyes, blonde hair. He was like big, but he was nice. When we met, he didn't say anything mean. He was just like, I hope you're doing good in school. I actually dropped out by that time. He didn't know that. But he was like, you know, I hope you're doing good in school and keep my daughter safe and keep yourself safe. And so, yeah, that's my story. I got to go to the gym. But, yeah, watch that episode of Everybody Hates Chris. If you want to see what happened to me, it's pretty much what happened in that episode of Everybody Hates Chris. I didn't know anything about the neighborhood. And this actually, I don't know if it's the same neighborhood. It might be the same neighborhood, just at the time that was filmed, like in the time in which they were making it of, it was probably called something else. And then it became Bensonhurst, and that's when I was there. But it's basically the same exact shit. And I'm out, people. Later. Okay, I'm finished.